Promoting environmentally sustainable indigenous farming system to increase the value of organic products. So it includes creating value chain to niche market, establishing certification procedures and enhancing local capacities in agricultural development. The three subcommons involve providing agriculture support services, disseminating market information, and rebuilding facilities. So magpaagay sa pag-promote sa atong environmental sustainable indigenous farming, mao ni ang pamaagi na para ma-increase bitaw atong value sa mga product, like sa product or organic product. For example, di ba kung mag-promote ta og kanang product nato, like ang maligya ta dayon, ato dayon ang i-promote dayon, so dala na dayon makabalo na mao dayon siya barato ra dayon, may dawit dayon increase na dayon ang ato ang value sa ato ang product. So pagparehera na ato tang indigenous farming, di ba, indigenous farming system, di ba, ma-increase siya, the more na ma-increase, the more siya mo-increase, the more po na madagan po tag matabangan. For the example, mag-create tag mga sa mga market or making mga corporate sa mga certifications, sa mga enhancing local capacities. So next, rural infrastructure development. Community groups will rehabilitate, construct and maintain rural infrastructures and facilities essential for promoting transportations, agricultural production, and livelihood enterprises. So priority will be given to infrastructures that would create larger economic returns to the community while mitigating adverse environmental effects. So kaning rural infrastructure development tumutukoy, so kani sila tumutukoy sa pagpaplano o pagtatayo sa pagpabuti ng iba't ibang mga pisikal ng istruktura at pasilidad sa mga kanayunan upang mapabuti ang kanilang kabuhayan, kabuuan, kalidad ng buhay ng mga operadores sa ekonomiya. Kasama rito ang pagpatayo ng mga kalsada, tulay, paaralan at mga health center. Next, project management coordination. So this component will have the following subcomments. So na-siya 4 na project management coordination. So first ang ilang gikuan is operationalization the project management structures at the regional, provincial, municipal, and barangay level. So ito rin, kaning project management na ito ay pinagpapatupad o nagpapatakbo sa mga istruktura ng mga pamahala ng proyekto. So nadiri, ang ilang gikuan kay ang iba't ibang antas ng ilang nakuan kay mga regional, provincials, municipal, at mga barangay. So the second is the implementation of monitoring and evaluation, which will be created out by the participatory approach involving all stakeholders, especially committee members and beneficiaries. So ito rin ay pagpapatupad ng mga pagsusubaybay at pagsusuri sa proseso at epekto ng mga isang proyekto. Ang nangulugan ng lahat ng mga stakeholders daw, especially sa mga committee members at mga beneficiaries, ay kasangkot sa proseso. So the third is strengthening the capacity of concerned staff in project management and technical expertise by offering project staff capacity building through training to improve their efficiency and effectiveness. So kani siya, layunin nilang mapabuti ang mga kanilang kakayahan at kasanayan upang maging mas mabisa at epekto ang kanang tungkulin sa pagpapatupad ng mga proyekto, like mga paralan, mga inana. So the last one is documentation and dissemination of the best practices, in which best practices under project activities will be appropriately identified, documented, and disseminated for other projects implementers to use to enhance their performance. So kaning last kadi siya, ito ay isang pagpatupad na upang kanang makamit ang ilang project kanang ilang result bitaw nila kanang ilang gibuhat ng mga eskwelahan, mga health, mga nana. Mo nilang last nila na gibuhat kanang ilang result na nindot ba ang ilang pagkuan sa result na ilang gihimo. So the next is the project aims to build the success of the initial Cordillera operation by documenting and sharing indigenous knowledge, system, and practices related to natural resources, management, and farming. It will conduct new research on enhanced practices and agribusiness value chain. The strategy involves using current sustainable farming practices as a foundation for the improving value for the producers through the value chain approach. The excess strategy focuses ensuring economic and social sustainability for grassroots institution. The project will maintain participatory delay in planning, and monitoring it will enhance community development, planning, and contract management for better outcomes. So kani siya, ito ay pinapananatili nila ang ilang proyekto daw sa pamamaraan ng mga isyu tulad ng mga kakulangan ng pakikilahok ng community, pagkakaantala sa pagpaplano at pagsusuri pagpapasuri na palalakasin nito ang pagpaplano sa pagpaunlad ng ating community at pamamahala ng kontrata para mahusay ang resulta. So next, lesson learned. The implementation of our IPRA addresses the needs of indigenous people, but NCIP's capacity to enforce the law needs improvement for timely benefits in indigenous communities. So, kani siya, ito ay nangulugan na bagaman ang IPRA ay nagpapatupad ay nagdaguyod ng mga pangangailangan ng mga katutubong tao. Ang kakayahan ng NCIP ay patupad ang batas ay nangangailangan sa pagpabuti upang maibigay ang maayos at maagap ang mga benepisyo sa mga community sa indigenous peoples. So next, phase 2 of the project introduces innovation like commercializing indigenous products, enhancing monitoring and evaluation system, empowering indigenous peoples and council for forest management, and enabling municipalities to authorize project disbursement. So kani siya, ito ay nangulugan ng ikalawang yugto ng proyekto ng pagpaunlad ng istruktura tulad ng commercializing indigenous products. So next, sharper focus on results. So the project aims to enhance project monitoring and evaluation capacity at DACER, LGUS, and community levels. It involves developing participatory ME mechanism, training K official and community members, and conducting a household survey to assess project impacts. So kaning innovative features, so ito ay nangulugan na ay ganing sharper focus on result. So ang project ay naglalayong palakisin ang kakayahan ng mga pagsubaybay at pagtatasa ng proyekto sa DACER. Layunin nilang palakasin ang kakayahan ng mga sangay ng pamalaan, lokal na pamalaan, at komunidad kasama dito ang mechanism, training K, official, and community members. So, next, pilot testing and upscaling of new concept and approaches. So, some new concept approaches like indigenous natural resources, management practices, LAPAT, and system of the rice and intensification of SRI will be piloted in SAR to enhance productivity and enhance productivity and better manage natural resources. So layunin Layunin din nilang subukan ang mga bagong idea sa pamamaraan ng SAR upang mapabuti ang pamahala ng likas ng yaman sa produktibidad o lapat. So kaning lapat mo ni ang lalawigan sa pangangasiwaan ng tubig o lapay sa pangangasiwaan ng tubig. Mo to siyang ibig sabihin ng lapat. So, provincial governments will lead constructions projects like irrigation system and routes with involvement from municipalities and communities to strengthen local capacity to ensure infrastructures and sustainability. So kani siya So sa pamamagitan ng pagpakita ng mga pagkakaisa at pagtutulungan ng mga lokal, layunin na mapalakas ang kakayahan ng pagpaplano sa pagpatupad like atong mga project na ilang ikuan like irrigation system and huge with involvement from the municipalities. So next, the Philippines faced rising food prices in 2008, transitioning from rice self-sufficiency to becoming the world's largest milled rice importer by 2007. To address this, the government implemented the 2009 to 2013 rice self-sufficiency and plan focusing on seed quality and irrigation environment. So ito ay tumutukoy. So ang pagpataas ng presyo ng pagkain sa Pilipinas, nag-start siya 2008. Nag-start siya sa kaning bugas, kaning rice din. Kung saan ang bansa ay naging pinakamaling tagapag-angkat ng bigas sa mundo noong nag-start siya 2007. Then mula sa pagiging sapat sa sarili sa bigas, upang tugunan ito, pinapatupad sa pamahalaan ang Rice Self-Sufficiency Plan mula 2009 hanggang 2013. So, ginututok sa pagpapalambo sa pakalidad sa bini, sa pagplano sa irigasyon. Programming area ng program as Bicol, Eastern Visayas, So, ang programa daw na ang ilang na encompasses sa lugar kay ilang na target like Bicol, Western Visayas, and the last one is Northern Mindanao regions. So, beneficiaries. So, the program consists the two separate but mutually dependent of the program. So, na siya dual separated. So, first, Rapid Seed Supply Financing Project, RASSFIP, and Irrigated Rice Productions. And the second is the kaduwa kay Enhancement Project. So, kaning Rapid Seed Supply Financing Projects, ito ay paghatag sa mga bilis ng mga pundo ng suporta alang sa supply sa bini na kinahanglan sa mga agricultures, particular sa pagdambo sa mga products sa bini na kinahanglan alang sa mga tao. So kaning integrated rice productions. So mao ni ang pimaagi para malambo pod ang mga atong mga tinanom na bugas kay ang buhat ani sa kaning irrigated rice ay atimanan na jud ang pag-atiman na jud sa atong mga tinanom uban pang mga aspeto sa pagpanguma sa bugas. So, the direct benefits the RASSFIP is to increase seed supply. The farmers receiving seed under RASSFIP are selected based on their poverty levels and exposure to natural calamities. The target group for IRPEP is 4 Irrigators Association and 51 Communal Irrigation System, CISS. In the Eastern Visayas and the Northern Mindanao region, who request system rehabilitation and mobilize counterpart funds. Those about 765,889 households, about 3.8 million people will benefit from the certified and breed seeds. The RIPEP will improve irrigation facilities on about 4,664 hectares in region 8 to 10. So, benefiting about 6,477 farmers, 32,000 people per season for a period of about 10 years. Its main quantifiable benefits will be higher farmer incomes through increased crop production and a higher quality products, fetching higher prices. The seed buffer stock will also provide risk minimizing benefits at all levels. So the selection criteria for the CISS to be covered under the IRPEP part of the program give priority to: first, the Forest Aggregators Association; second, local government units and irrigators, association that we're prepared to provide detailed rehabilitation plans for their CISS and to contribute counterpart resources. The third, CISS that provide opportunity for consolidating previous investment and focused provinces identified under the Rice Self-Sufficiency Plan. So, programming objectives. The goal of RAFPEP is sustainable food security for paddy farming household in certain province. So, ang RASS FIP aims to increase paddy production in specific regions. Ang IRPEP focuses on enhancing integrated paddy productivity in selected areas. So ang layunin ng RAFIPEP ay ang pagpatupad ng pagpamatagalang seguridad sa pagkain para sa mga sambayang nagtatanim ng palay sa probensya. So ang RASS FIP ay naglalayo ng dagdagan ang product ng palay sa tiyak na mga hilayon. So ang IRPEP naman ay nakatuon sa pagpalakas ng product ng irrigators sa pagtanim ng palay na nanabilang sa probensya. So next, programming component and activity. The management of the RAFPEP is project-based. The first project, the RASSFI, shall be implemented for 1 year. The second project, the IRPEP, shall be implemented for 6 years. The new project structure shall be created and IRPEP to generate active participations from the project's different stakeholders. So ang ang ilang na activity, so ang kaning RAFPEP, ang ilang project na ilang nakuan is almost for 1 year. So pag-abot aning IRPEP, ang ilang implemented na ilang nakuan kay almost 6 years. Next is the RASSFIP has two components. So first, the acquisition that distribution of 550,000 bags per K for 40 kilogram each per certified and bred paddy seed for the 1,000 went per session. So mupalit mo og binhi for isa ka kilo lang 40 na siya. Kung mupalit mo isa ka sako, bali 550 ang iyong makuha. So the next is programming management. So IRPEP has 5 components. First is strengthening of irrigation association, grassroots organization. The target groups will be strengthened to promote their sustainable livelihoods, productive capacities, and negotiating power. The The second, providing product includes the related support services. The third, integration and development and maintenance to the rural infrastructures. Fourth, marketing and post-harvest development. And the last one, the program management and the policy dialogue. The strategy, the program strategy of rehabilitating CISS to promote the efficient use of water and the land support of IFAD, strategic objectives of sustainable natural resources management as and set out in the Iped strategic framework in 2007 to 2010. The experience of IRPP and regulation of CISS, management of CISS by irrigators, the station and the resulting productions enhancement will be documented for future scaling up. It will also demonstrate the benefits of providing better post-harvest facilities to improve the market com- competitiveness and paddy
The
growth.
program has a geographical focus operating nationality with microfinance activities covering all rural areas and enterprise development, primarily targeting 19 selected provinces in the poorest region of the country, benefiting around 11 million people with varying poverty level. So the program works across with the whole country, focusing on helping people, rural areas, and small businesses, and supporting businesses in specific province with poverty, poverty is high. Kanang taas kong poverty, mo na ilang tabangan napita diha mga business. It aims to benefit around 11 million people who have different level of poverty. Beneficiaries. The program targets the rural poor living below the national poverty in line of $263 per person in a year. In 2000, the poor constitute about 34% in the total population and 73% of them live in the rural areas. The Rural Micro Enterprise Promotion Program works with poor micro entrepreneurs and the other people involved with micro enterprise including women, youth, and indigenous people, while micro enterprise in the Philippines can have assets up to 3 million pesos, around 67,774 US dollar. The program focuses on those who involve at the lower and poorer in the end of the scale. However, the large micro enterprise are not excluded because they generated jobs that are particularly important for poor households, many of which have few or no alternative means of generating income. So, the beneficiary of the program are mainly poor people who live in rural areas, have little income, specifically target to earn less than 263 pe- per person per year. So, ang target earning ng program is about ang mga people with ang income nila is less than $263 per year. Muna ilang main target. About 34% of the country's population falls into this category, which with 78% of them living in rural areas. The program works in small business owners, especially those who have limited resources, including women, youth, indigenous people. So, ang program is, makahelp ng program is mga small businesses, especially with limited resources daw. Mga lagi na yung ingon. It also includes larger ones because they provide jobs which are crucial for poor households and few other ways to make money. Next, program objective. The program development goal is to reduce poverty through increasing economic development, job creation, and rural income for 200,000 poor rural households. Central to achieve this goal and as its program objective and program expect to see increasing number of new and exciting rural micro-enterprise expanding and operating profitable and sustainability. In simple terms, the objective of the program is to help poor families in rural areas to improve their lives. It aims to do this by creating more jobs, boosting the economy, increasing incomes for the families, and the main focus of supporting small businesses in rural areas to grow and succeed, which will ultimately benefit the entire community. The program has three main components: microfinance credit and support, microenterprise promoting and development, program and policies coordination. So the first microfinance credit and support aims to increase finance for microenterprise through credit facilities, capacities, strengthening, and institutional support. Microenterprise promotion and development provides business development service through provincial planning, funding facilities, SME, center outreach, and national support. Program and facilities coordination focuses on effective management and positive regulation, environment, through, through program coordination, facilities response, and monitoring. So, naga po simple breakdown eh. Program, the three main parts. Di ba, ang una is microfinance. So, ang microfinance daw is to help small business by giving them money to grow, teaching them how to manage their money, and supporting organizations that help them. Micro enterprise, promotion and development. This section assists small businesses by providing by offering service like planning at a local level, providing funds to help them reaching out to small and medium-sized business centers, and giving them support on national level. Program policies coordination. This aspect focus on making sure the program runs smoothly by managing it effectively, creating rules to help it work well, policy response, and keeping an eye on how it's going. Next, IFAD strategy in the Philippines focus on supporting marginalized upland and coastal areas, targeting groups like indigenous people and landlikes, landless individual. Key elements including decentralization support, enterprise development, environmental management, private sector's involvement, and enhancing access to assets, technology, and markets. So, the IFADs or International Fund for Ag- Agricultural Development plans in the Philippines to help the most disadvantaged people living in the mountains and coastal region. They focus on groups like indigenous tribes and those without lands. Their strategy involves several important parts. Ang una, decentralization support, helping local communities take more control over their own affairs. Enterprise development, supporting the growth of small businesses. Environmental management, helping to protect the environment in these areas. Private sector involvement, working with businesses to improve opportunities for locals. And lastly, enhancing access to asset, technologies, and markets, helping people get the resources they need, learn new skill, and sell their products more effectively. Next, the Tagay Fund, tangdal. Tagay Fund funded projects for indigenous people in the Philippines were completed. Na don't know man nga project ang mga IFAN so good. First is Western Mindanao Community Initiative Project. Second, Cordillera Highland Agricultural Resources Management Project Phase 1. Three is Northern Mindanao Community Initiative and Resources Management. IFAD also supported 7 projects to the indigenous people as Assistant Facility or IPA. in the Philippines, focusing on like topics like healthcare, indigenous rights, and cultural empowerment. So, moreover, Iped Fian, southern project in the Philippines through the Indigenous People Assistance Facility, IPAP, a study on a giant earthworm and its impact to the survival of the Cordillera rice, capacity building for indigenous communities through alternative healthcare delivery system, capacitating the IPS organization and promotion and implementation of indigenous people rights and and declaration on the rights of indigenous people. Live and let Live and Let Live in the United Nations Declaration on the Rights of Indigenous People, and DRIP, a mobile theater forum 2018, a capacity building program to advance the indigenous people's human rights, enhancing the practice indigenous knowledge, supporting the socio-economic survival of indigenous women in urban setting, empowerment of the Mangyan indigenous people for the defense, promotion, and advancement of IP rights and culture. The most recent are enhancing the practice of indigenous knowledge and supporting socio-economic survival of indigenous women in urban setting 2011, organizing Cordillera Women Education Action Research Center, project areas Sandanga Village facilities sa Creek Village and San Luis Extension in Baguio in the Cordillera region. Philippines in IP group Igorot women who are originally from the interior village of Sandanga and Botok in the mountain province grant amount to 40,000 US dollars. So, meaning is the project aims to empowerment indigenous women in poor urban areas by revitalizing indigenous knowledge like Ayaw and Ugfo in Abuyo. This includes cooperative waste management using vermicomposting to reduce waste and utilize all available space for growing produce. The initiative advocates for self-driven development and community-based waste management, enhancing food sources and strengthening the socio-economic, political, and cultural status of indigenous women in urban communities. The project, the project by Hagibat aims to empower the Mangyan indigenous people in the Philippines through education, training, advocacy, and network to defend their rights and culture. It focuses on strengthening in tribal organizing to protect human rights and indigenous people's rights, including advocacy for greater understanding of Mangyan indigenous people custom and worldviews. The Habitat Project wants to help the Mangyan indigenous people in the Philippines by teaching them, giving them skills, speaking up for them, and helping them connect with others. They want to make sure Mangyan people know and protect their rights and tradition. This includes making sure everyone understands Mangyan customs and beliefs.
The last topic is the international organization working in the country with indigenous people. So in the international NGOs working with Philippines indigenous people, there are three international NGOs: the PIPLINKS, the Teba Foundation, the Samgama Institute. PIPLINKS, a human rights organization in the UK, and the Philippine focus on supporting indigenous people rights act. The Teba Foundation advocates for indigenous people rights globally with a center in Baguio City, Philippines. The Samgama Institute supports local initiatives against unsustainable development with offices in Indonesia and the Philippines. So in these three international NGOs, it focuses on human rights, supporting indigenous people, and advocating indigenous people. So in international financial institutions, there are 6 international financial institutions. First is the official development assistance, second financial institution,
Third, the International Cooperation, GBIC. Third is the World Bank, WB. And last is the Asian Development Bank, or ADB. In this institution, it makahatag ni siya og kanang maka-develop ni siya og assistance sa mga indigenous people. Kung na mga barrier or circumstances na maabot sa indigenous people, magduol lang kaanin ng mga institution para matabangan ka. So, efforts on the implementation of this project revealed that there has been indicative participation of indigenous people in decision-making and lack of free. Prior informed consent by the affected communities, some projects were also found to have negative impacts on the indigenous people, including displacement from ancestral territories, restriction and weakening of traditional livelihood, and destruction of the environment, especially in the case of mining operation. So, ang project din sa gobyerno, hindi lang siya yung nakahatag siya o positive impact sa indigenous people, kundi na po siya yung negative impact. For example, pag-mining, na yung mga mining operation din sa mga kabaglutan na ang mga indigenous po nato kay most nag-rigid sila sa mga mountain areas. So, kung mag-mining ang naisugo ang gobyerno na mag-mining, siguro maapektuhan dyan ang mga indigenous people, ang mga habitat nila kung dili ka lang masira sa ang banugod kay itong Ireland kay para sa muhawas sila pinag-anan nila. So, ang ilang ancestral na livelihood ma-displace. Dayon, good practices with the UN and international organization, the United Nations Development Program or the UNDP in the Philippines undertook a conciliation process with the participation of indigenous people representative in 2008 and 2009 to formulate its indigenous people program for the Philippines. This is a positive start to the process since the indigenous people were involved in defining the development strategies from the start. So, once indigenous people di ay na ay international po na organization, the UN o ang UNDP. Bali, ang UN o ang UNDP kakulab kay para ang mga indigenous people matabangan. In case sa kanang na sa mga problema about sa bali ang UN o ang UNDP rin musulbana. Gayon, involving NGOs and the indigenous organization in community, empowerment to help identify and implement development program, respect for local culture and institution is crucial in project design. Recognizing indigenous people rights over their land is essential for their confidence in development intervention. So, ang NGO o organization sa indigenous, bali silang duha, sila magkinabangay sila para sa kanang ma-empowerment ang indigenous sa ilang mga land o kanalitang ang food security nila matabangan kay sa kanang kablaman dyan na ang indigenous youth kay dyan ang mga practices nila kay para dyan sila ang pagkabuhayan kay wala sila yung education or walang mga trabaho kung hindi ang ilang giban sa ilang mind ang ilang pag-adlaw na sila pagkinabuhi. So ang ma-involve ang NGO o ang indigenous community palisugi sila magkulab sila tuwa para ang practices sa indigenous hindi mawala siya bali permanent na siya, hindi na siya yung temporary kit para sa kanang ma-develop ang inaang practices o ang isa po, hindi lang yung na mawala in generation from generation.
So, recommended development and conversion include first, reviving indigenous knowledge for the biodiversity and food security. So, mauni ang ang pagpapabuhi sa lumagdong kahibalo alang sa mga diversity o mga seguridad sa pagkaon. So, ang ikadua kay enhancing and land productivity through sustainable agriculture. So, kani siya ang mga pagpauswag sa mga product sa yuta pinagi sa mga magtarong agrikultura. So, the next is diversity livelihoods for indigenous communities. So, kanit po kan mo yung mga diversity sa panginabuhin para sa mga lumad sa mga community o mga komunidad. Ngayon, one. The next one is improving access to social services and education. So, education. Mo po ang mga papauswag para sa mga access sa mga serbisyo social sa mga edukasyon. Ngayon, the last one is rehabilitating and managing natural resources for indigenous communities. So, kani siya mga rehabilitate o pagdumala sa natural na kahimuhan sa mga lumad sa community. Next one is the United Nations Special Rapporteur visited in the Philippines in 2002, highlighting human rights issues faced by indigenous peoples related to the land rights and sustainable development. Indigenous communities receive projects that displace them from ancestral lands, leading to human rights violation from activities like logging and farming. Mga special daw sa reporter sa United Nations, nibisita sa Pilipinas na atong 2002 nag-start ang bisita. Ngayon, ang mga lumad ng komunidad na misukol sa mga proyekto na nagpalayot kanila gikan sa yutang kabilin nga musangpot sa mga paglapas sa katawong katungad sa mga kalugan sama sa pagtruso o pagpagpilina. Militarization of urban development project occurs when people leads to human rights violation in indigenous communities including arbitrary detention and killings, slow ancestral land titling in the Philippines due to rigorous processes burdens indigenous people, leading to corruption, greed, and manipulation of outcomes. So, ang mga kuan daw, ang mga declaration sa mga sa mga proyekto, sa kalambuan nga gisupak sa mga tao, musangpot sa mga paglapas sa katawag katungod sa mga lumad na makip sa mga arbitrary mga detention sa pagpatay. Ang ina sa mga pagtitulo sa yuta sa kabilin sa Pilipinas tungod sa higpit nga proseso sa nagpabug-at sa mga lumad. Mga musangpot sa mga risko nga korupsyon nga magpainubra sa mga resulta. Dayon, the implementation of the Indigenous Peoples' Rights Act, Iped, has resulted in the slow processing of CADT and CALT application with only small percentage of ancestral domain registered. The NCIP quickly issues certificate of precondition for development projects like mining and plantation. Despite recognition under certificate ancestral domain can still be lost if FPIC is obtained from indigenous peoples, leading to complaints of deception and harassment during the process. So, ang kwan daw, ang pagtanungan sa mga Indigenous People Rights Act na miresulta sa hinay nga proseso nga aplikasyon sa CADT o sa CLT nga gamay nga mga proyekto sa mga ancestral domain. So, ang NCIP dali siya nag-issue of mga certificates of the precondition para sa mga proyekto sa kalambuan sama sa pagmina o plantasyon. Bisan pa sa paglabong sa mga sertipiko, ang mga ancestral domain daw mahimo yapon nga mawala kung kung FPIC makuha gikan sa mga lumad. So nga musangpot sa mga reklamo sa pagpalinga o pagpangasi atol sa proseso.